So we're going to look at how to add or build out your offerings for your internal services. So this is located at the company level, company services. Now, services are intended to be items that you as a venue provide. Okay, so it's things you provide and charge for. So this could be something where, in this example, DJ Dan, he's on staff, or it could be something where you are sourcing it from externally, but it's coming through you. You're paying the external, you're paying DJ Dan, and then the couple's paying you. So you're charging for these, you are ultimately the service provider. So when we create services, and just a little big picture for you. So we're putting in the services, the settings for the services, and then you can build them out by offering or uploading photos. So there's a really beautiful online shopping experience for your customers. So when you're on this list, you can also look by active, deleted, or all. So we're going to go actions, add new service. And there's a lot of information here. It's kind of like when you build menus. There's a lot happening on the back end to make sure that the service offering is correct on the front end for your staff users and for your customers. So we're going to name it, and I'm going to name this Wedding Post Box. And the type. So this is where you're just picking the type that it will fall under, so how you would filter it. And then these types determine how it will then be filtered when people are looking for things on their shopping experience. I'm just looking to see what would be the best item for a post box. And I think I'm just going to go, wedding post box is actually on here. So we'll put that there. I was going to also maybe put it under gift table. Okay, lock under verified. We'll come back to that here in a moment. Available only in events. So you can determine which event types can see the offering of wedding post box. So it's really not appropriate to offer a wedding post box for all event types, right? So you can go through and say, definitely wedding, twilight wedding, renewal vows. Maybe those are the three that's appropriate. You can also pick the venue. So if it's only available in one of your venues, I'm going to say it's available in all for this. And available only in areas. This would be really important for something like garden games. So if they're not reserving the courtyard, then they can't book garden games. Or if it's something that's very, maybe it's the LED dance floor, but the LED dance floor is only available if they're using the marquee. It's not available in the orangery. So you can designate different services for different areas. Maximum number of options selected. And the options are going to be over here. I know I'm only going to allow them to pick one, but if there's multiple options, so maybe for garden games, you have cornhole and giant Jenga and ring toss, they could pick up to 3. They could have all 3 garden games. Default service time. This is the default time that it will go on the timeline. You can override this for events, but this way you don't have to type it in all the time if it's usually the same time. So I'm going to put this at 2 o'clock. And payment deadline override. So when you did your venue configurations, you said when payments are due, X amount of days before the event. So it might have been 28 days, 14 days. If the service has an exception, I typically see this with accommodations, they're due a little earlier. You can put that in here and say it's due days before the event. So maybe it's 60 days before the event is when this payment's going to be due. I'm going to leave it blank because I'm going to use the venue default. And then you have a deposit workflow if you require a deposit. The deposit will be due at the time of booking, regardless of how far advanced it is. So if they book out something, that LED dance floor with a 50-pound deposit due a year before, that $50 is due at time of booking. The balance will be due as set by either your venue configuration or this payment deadline. I'm going to put 0 because I don't have a deposit for this. And then if you had a deposit, you could say the transaction category associated with the deposit. And then included automatically. So you could have, if you have the free option, you could say that it's already included in weddings. So boom, it's just added to weddings automatically. That makes a lot of sense, but for me, I'm not going to include it automatically because I want them to tell me that they want the wedding post box, in which case we'll pull it out. If they don't want it, my function team's not going to bother pulling it out. Service charge category, I'm going to put it under venue services. This is making sure that it has the correct VAT rate associated and revenue reports, since the post box is filed under services for me. Now, require validation for bookings. If I say no, when they book the box, it's confirmed. It's locked in. If I say yes, that means it comes in as a service request, it's pending, and a staff user has to verify that booking, validate that booking. This would be helpful for that DJ Dan option, where I need to make sure that Dan didn't book out with his other gig or whatever. So I'm going to say no. But if I say yes on this, that's where the lock after verified up here at top plays in. Meaning that if it's verified, you probably want to lock it so they can't alter it since you've verified that booking. So they can't cancel it, they have to come to you. They can't change anything on it, they have to come to you. So if you want to lock it after it's been verified, if you verify the booking or validate the bookings. Okay, action when bookings are canceled. I'm going to use the company default as set up under the company setup. But you can override that on how you handle it if it's canceled and they've already paid for it. So if I've paid $100 for a fire pit and I canceled it, what do you want to, when it's canceled, what do you do with the $100? Do you use discounts? Do you use credit notes? Do you just do it manually as you want for one-off situations? And then you can make something staff only if you do not want to promote it to the customers, but you want it available for staff to add. So this could be more maybe things that you're phasing out or things that whatever, for whatever reason, you want it to be staff only. Okay, then we're going to build out the options. So my options, I'm going to have a white box. And this is what the customers see. I'm going to put white post box. And in here, I'm going to say 2026 white post box. This is what the staff will see, the internal name. And then white post box for cards. The price. I'm going to put it at 35. Okay. Now I put a year here, 2026. That's because the 35 is what I'm charging 2026 bookings. So I'm going to put here, it's between January 1st, 2026 and December 31st, 2026. Now, that's the event confirmed, excuse me. We want this not on the confirmation date, but on the event date. So 1/1. And these are popping up because of my settings on my Chrome. So the 2026 will show if the event date falls within 2026. You can also limit it to the confirmation date. So maybe your pricing is based on when they confirmed versus when the event is held. Either way. I'm going to add another option. I'm just going to copy and paste this over for ease. I'm going to name this 2027. And copy and paste again. No need to reinvent the wheel. And for 2027, my box is the post box is going up to 38. And then I can add in the event dates, 2027. And I can repeat this a few years out. And that way I can change pricing. I'm not advertising pricing to like a 2028, and then you have to go back and change it. But if you don't want to use the event dates or confirmation dates, leave that blank and everyone will see this. But you still have the nice name and the internal name so you can differentiate things. And you can continue to add options. Maybe you have a red post box, whatnot. I'm going to hit save. So this is now created. So over here, I have the services menu. So I have the general information. I have images. This is where I can upload pictures and then say where I want the pictures to go. And I'll show you those in a moment. You can create questions like, where do you want it placed? Okay, so we have that there. Save. Availability, so you can define your stock. So they can only get one because I only have one. And same thing on the other one. There's one. That's for each option. So that'd be the 26, 27. Or I can just go up here. There's one option between all of them. It is what it is. So you define your availability. And then I had this for all venues, but I'm saying that there's only one. So that means if somebody booked it at venue 1, it won't be available that same day in venue 2. And then bookings, I can export a booking list of who's booked this service. So real quick, I just want to show you photos and then I'll let you get on your way. So if we look at an event, wedding here. Okay, go to services, add service, and here we have them. So the photo here, so it's a square. This is your search picture. So you want your search picture that you upload to be a square. When you open it, you have the wall photo. So this is short and wide. We'll go right here. And then if you add gallery photos, there'll be a blue button here that says gallery that you pick, and then you can just flip through pictures and they can be various sizes. So those are where the photos will show up. These are on your services. So the venue ones is what we're setting up right now. So you can see my wedding post box set up. This event is in 2026. Therefore, why am I getting both of them? So let's troubleshoot. So I'm getting both of them. And then let me go to see why we're getting both of them. Maybe I didn't hit save in time. Yep, my dates didn't save. So that's why we have to hit save. There we go. I'm just going to go back and come back and make sure that those dates saved. Yes, they did. And now we'll go back to that event. So now you know why it's important to go to an event and test and make sure everything comes through as you expected. So now if I go back to my supplier services, my wedding box, and I only see the one. So there you have it. So if you want to go through your services, add them in, make sure that you go to your test event, make sure everything looks as you expect it to for just that reason I showed. And then you can move ahead to your external suppliers.